Something unbelievable happened Monday night, and basketball fans everywhere are still talking about it. Caitlin Clark, one of the most exciting stars the game has ever seen, delivered a clutch moment that could go down as one of the biggest shots of her WNBA career. With just 1.2 seconds remaining on the clock, Clark drained a stunning go-ahead three-pointer, lifting the Indiana Fever to a dramatic 78-76 win over the Washington Mystics. It was the kind of shot that sends an arena into chaos, the kind of shot that has fans jumping out of their seats, the kind of unforgettable moment that gets replayed for years and becomes part of basketball history. But instead of everyone celebrating an incredible game-winning play, the conversation quickly took a surprising turn. What should have been a straightforward highlight suddenly sparked debate across social media, leaving fans divided and asking one big question. How did one of the greatest clutch moments of the season become so controversial? Let's break down exactly what happened.
I really don't know how to take this comment by Kelsey Mitchell.
I hate it about the young people today. Like, you lose inside what's important. Like, you celebrated that three and they already done scored while you playing. Right. So it's just it's a balance.
Don't that sound like a shot at Caitlin Clark? I mean, who's young, who shoots threes, and who always celebrates when she does it? It sounds like Caitlin Clark to me, don't it? If it walks like a duck, quack like a duck, I think that's the duck she's talking about.
So let's break down exactly what happened in that final stretch. Late in the fourth quarter, Caitlin Clark set up Kelsey Mitchell in transition, and Mitchell finished with a clutch layup to put Indiana ahead. But Washington wasn't done yet. Sonia Citron stepped up under pressure and calmly knocked down 2 free throws with just 4.3 seconds left on the clock. 76-75. Washington leads. Timeout Fever. 1 possession, 1 shot, 1 chance. That's all they had. Sophie Cunningham handled the inbound. Cody McMahon tried to jump the passing lane and go for the steal, but missed his timing. And that's when everything broke open. Clark found space beyond the arc, completely wide open. She rose up and buried the three. Game over. Fever win. Clark delivers again. That alone should have been the headline. But what happened next is what everyone started talking about.
Mitchell comes off the screens, but so does Clark. Up and in!
And this is where things really start to get controversial. As soon as that shot went in, the reactions were exactly what you'd expect from such a tense finish. Pure shock, emotion, and disbelief all at once. Lexi Hullader said she could barely even breathe in that moment, but she never doubted it was going in. She called it one of the biggest moments of their entire season. And that really says it all. That's not just a teammate talking about a shot. That's someone who felt the pressure, stayed locked into the moment, and watched it turn into something unforgettable.
Kelsey Mitchell, sour grapes. Is this sour grapes? Is this a fake face? Are we putting on for the gram, as the kids would say?
How much confidence did you have in her hitting that one?
Pretty high. Honestly, I saw it kind of go up. I'm like, yeah, that's money. And I think that that was the way it was written up. And I think, really honestly, you just try to let your personnel do the work. I'm going to trust her every time, and I think it was a good shot.
But fans watching closely started pointing out something different. Kelsey Mitchell's body language didn't look explosive. It didn't look overwhelmed either. It almost felt controlled, reserved, like she wasn't fully reacting the way people expected after such a dramatic, game-winning moment. Now, on its own, that might not have become a talking point at all, because every player reacts differently in moments like this. Some explode with emotion. Some stay calm. Some just take a second to process everything that just happened. And that's completely normal.
Has officially lost the Indiana Fever locker room. You got Sophie Cunningham and the players celebrating, going rogue. As we all know now, Caitlin Clark was not supposed to get that basketball to shoot the game winner. And you got many people saying Kelsey Mitchell was not happy that Caitlin Clark hit that game winner, as she may have wanted all the attention for.
But fans aren't watching this moment in isolation. They're watching it through everything that has already surrounded Caitlin Clark since she entered the league. Every comment, every headline, Every awkward soundbite, every moment where praise felt delayed, softened, or redirected. So when they see a game-winning shot followed by what looks like muted energy from a key teammate, they don't just see one reaction. They start looking for patterns, for meaning, for something deeper. And that's exactly why this moment keeps gaining traction. Because if Clark had hit that shot and the entire team had rushed her in celebration, it would have been just another highlight. No debate, no conversation. But when one of the team's biggest names appears less than fully expressive in the replay, the internet does what it always does. It pauses. It zooms in. It replays it again and again. And it starts asking a question that can quickly take over the entire discussion. What's really going on here?
I think that Sophie Cunningham went rogue. I don't think she went rogue. I think she just took what the defense gave them. I think the most glaring issue is not the play itself, but the intent. So Lexi Hull actually came out and said that they were supposed to draw a foul with Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell. But honestly, why would you want to go with that strategy? Like, that's the part that's glaring to me, because the referee's been goofy all game. They were getting a lot of no calls. I've seen a lot of plays where the referees actually swallow the whistle.
Honestly, that question doesn't feel as crazy to some fans as it might sound at first. Because in their view, this isn't just about Kelsey Mitchell or one single reaction. It's about a growing feeling that something around Caitlin Clark's biggest moments always comes with hesitation attached. Not necessarily something you can prove or point to as a clear agenda, but a pattern that keeps repeating in how these moments are received. Clark does something massive, and instead of pure, immediate celebration, the reaction sometimes feels delayed or divided. She changes the game, and the conversation shifts toward systems, structure, or something else around it. She hits the biggest shot of the night, and instead of the spotlight staying fully on her, the focus quickly starts drifting to context, execution, or credit distribution. And that's the part fans say they can't ignore. Not one moment, but the accumulation of moments that, to them, all seem to land in a similar way.
Reads multiple actions. So how it being drawn up is again, like, is that semantics where was it drawn up for Caitlin Clark on that specific pass? Probably not. Is Caitlin Clark one of the options to create or get the ball to AB on that play? Of course. Is Kelsey Mitchell one of the options on that play? You can see it there. Is AB one of the options on the play? You can see it there.
That's why so many people are frustrated. Because in any other league, with any other superstar, a shot like that would completely take over the conversation. It would be the moment. It would be the headline. It would lead every highlight reel, every post-game breakdown, every social media post, and every talking point on air. No one would be trying to shift the emotional center of the night away from it. But here, somehow, fans feel like that's exactly what keeps happening. The spotlight doesn't stay fixed for long. It moves. It splits. It gets reframed. And that's what keeps this conversation alive.
A rough go over the last, 18 to 24 months for her. And so she's finding her way. And every opportunity that she gets to hit a shot like that, or to get a stop. I mean, she got a big defensive stop for us. To get a pass like she did to Kelsey is an opportunity to continue to feel more and more like herself and grow that confidence back. And I say this often, and I think sometimes we take great players and certainly generational talent.
Now, let's get to the post-game press conference, because this is where the story starts to shift from interesting to something fans are calling strange. After the game, Stephanie White did praise Caitlin Clark. She acknowledged her impact, saying that sometimes great players, especially generational talent, can be taken for granted. She called the moment incredible for the team and added that Clark will have many more moments like this in her career. On paper, that sounds solid. It sounds respectful. It sounds like exactly what a coach should say after her star hits a game winner. But fans weren't focused only on that part of the message. They were focused on what White chose to emphasize when she broke down the actual play itself. And that's where people started raising eyebrows. Because sometimes, it's not just what is said, it's what gets highlighted, what gets framed, and what gets left sitting in the background.
Austin drew up the play. I mean, Austin does a lot of our end of game stuff, and it was what he drew up. You know, we executed it perfectly. You know, I think you see we've been in a lot of those end of game situations, and we've done a really good job of executing in those moments. And we got the shot, and
letting the moment belong fully to Caitlin Clark. Stephanie White pointed out that the final play was originally drawn up for Kelsey Mitchell. She explained that Clark became the scoring option only after the defense gambled for the steal and broke the coverage. Now, that may be technically accurate from a basketball standpoint, but what stood out to fans wasn't the X's and O's. It was the timing, because the first framing of a game-winning shot wasn't centered on the shot itself. It was centered on how the play was supposed to develop. And that's exactly why so many viewers felt uneasy. Think about what just happened. Your biggest star hits the biggest shot of the game. Not just any basket, the shot that decides everything. The defense makes a mistake. Clark reads it instantly, gets wide open, and delivers under pressure. That's not random. That's not luck. That's a superstar seizing the moment. So when the immediate narrative becomes, well, actually, the play was for Mitchell, fans hear something different. They hear the spotlight being gently shifted. They hear the emotional center of the moment being redistributed before it even has time to settle. And when you combine that with footage of Mitchell not appearing as visibly emotional as some expected, the entire moment starts to feel even more complicated than the highlight alone suggests.